My name is Amanda Ybanez, and I'm a community advocate for the Urban Core Honolulu. And with us today, we have Lei Aloha Tumbaga. And Lei, do you want to say a few things about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Lei Aloha Tumbaga, and I'm also a community advocate through being current chairwoman of the Kalihi Valley Neighborhood Board.
Thank you so much for being here, Lei. And then to the middle of us here, to the middle is Larry Veray. And Larry, do you want to say a few things about yourself and who you are?
Yes, aloha. I've been with the Pearl City Neighborhood Board for the last 19 years. I've been the chair for the last 9. But when I moved to Hawaii in 1974, since then I've been a community leader in many areas. My homeowners association, our neighborhood security watch program, and recently I'm now with the Lions Club, Pearl City Community Association, and started a nonprofit to take care of the abandoned cemetery in Pearl City.
Nice. Well, you are very active, so as we are as well. I've been a community advocate. I've been all over the community for, I think, 17 years now, going on 17 years. Been active on the neighborhood board as well. I helped with Local 5 with the hotel workers, of which I have many family and friends. I'm all about the people of Hawaii and always will be. Doing a lot of volunteer time. Again, 15 years, 17 years now. Gosh, time goes by so fast, people of Hawaii, when we're busy helping people, volunteering our time. And especially with you, Lei, giving your time volunteering as the chairwoman for Kalihi Valley as well. So again, thank you both for being here. And for Larry, what brings you here today is, I believe you wanted to talk about some major concerns for the roadways and for the safety, such as e-bikes and e-scooters. And we've been hearing a lot of catastrophic events and some accidents that's been actually some fatalities from e-bikes and e-scooters. So I do believe that you wanted to talk about that today. In addition to that, you also wanted to talk about emergency management and emergency shelters. Again, safety and community safety and things that affect all of us in the community. You want to share with us about the e-bikes and some notes that you have here for us to share?
Yes, as we all know, that technology moves very fast, and what was that really moved quickly to Hawaii is when they brought in better technology for motorized bicycles and scooters. It turned out to be a big fad. Every kid on the block wanted to have it. But this has been an issue not only for Hawaii, but for all our mainland states as well. I remember, if I go back 40 years, actually go back 50 years, as a kid, we had little motor scooters back then that we'd build in our garage and things like that. There were no laws for that, but we were all told that stay off the roadways, and most of the kids would follow that. But today, this has really got out of hand. It's been so difficult for the city council and the state legislature to keep up with this. But the thing is, like Amanda said, we're losing too many of our young kids on the streets, and I know it's so hard when your kid at Christmas time comes around and says, "Mom, Dad, I really want this e-bike, can you get it for me?" And they're only 13 years old. You want to help them out, but at the same time, you got to be thinking about the challenging roadways that they're going to ride their bike. As we take a look at it right now, we got to think about our senior citizens, our disabled that walk along sidewalks. We can't have e-bikes on those sidewalks. They've got to be on the roadways, and they've got to understand road laws. In my opinion, anything that's required to go on roadways, you've got to be licensed. And at the same time, you need to go through some type of training program to educate you, because as we all know, we've got a lot of people here that don't follow the driving rules of the road. Stopping at stoplights, at the crosswalks before you make a right turn. You see everybody zooming through there, and that's how we lose a lot of people. It's the same way with the e-bikes. As they're trying to come through, there's not a lot of room with the curbs, and they get hurt. So what's really good is back in about August, September timeframe of last year, Amanda came to me, and we started talking about the problem. And with her as the chair of the Kalihi Palama Neighborhood Board, we decided to collaborate and actually do a joint resolution. And that particular resolution sat down with the Pearl City Neighborhood Board and your board, and we came up with the requirement itself for the City Council and the State Legislature to really take this serious, move forward. But not only just address the problem, we gave them solutions. And the other thing, thinking about HPD, they're so undermanned right now. We've got to have the community involved in this in some way to monitor. But one of the things that we had said in our requirement, I'm just going to read these because this is important, to enforce the requirement that all e-bike scooter dealers registered or sold vehicles online with the city and county of Honolulu while producing a certificate of ownership, and develop a basic educational booklet to be provided to the buyer of the vehicle. This will allow the Honolulu Police Department to determine if the vehicle has been stolen or to help recover stolen vehicles. Another thing that was important is develop an online educational course that details the laws of the road and safety tips requiring that e-bikes and e-scooters operators to receive a course completion ID, a certificate to carry with them, and for their operating their vehicles. The other items that we had mentioned was for DMV to make an available registry of all e-bike scooters purchased and transferred between seller and buyer, maintaining documentation of the vehicle. And a minimum fine, $200 fine for any e-bike scooter operator that operates a vehicle over a designated speed limit or over a minimum speed limit of 35 miles an hour, or any unsafe manner of driving those vehicles. And to allow the HPD to be able to impound e-bike scooters operated by underage juveniles, and also riding in multiple groups and any unsafe manner, and facilitate community enforcement of e-bike laws in safe manner. And of course, the resolution that came out of this from the City Council, they actually took our resolution and used that to be able to form their language in Bill 52, which is now Ordinance 25-6. And those ordinance details are safe driving requirements for all e-bike and e-scooter operators. And they can't be operated in an unsafe manner. And the other thing is that states in there is helmets are required for all e-bike operators under age 18. So that sets a really good way ahead forward. Those are our goals. You know, how do we get there? We've got to collaborate, continue to work. And here's the good news. We've got Representative Darius Keela, who's leading the charge from the west side, and he's drafted a bill that's going to go before the state legislature coming up, and we'll all have an opportunity to provide testimony. But the things that I said are the things that he's probably got in his draft resolution.
Excellent job. Thank you so much, Larry. And I do enjoy collaborating with you. And I believe I also spoke to Leigh about this as well, because this is a monumentally important measure, important resolution. Not only will it create safety, most importantly, people of Hawaii, it will save lives. It will save lives of the keiki. So many children have already died. They passed away. Can we believe that? And it's all preventable. The word is preventable. We're not saying that people can't enjoy the roadways. We want people to enjoy. We want children to go out and play, not with the guns in their hand, and not for ways for them to, unfortunately, find an early death. But this is what we're faced with today, and we have to catch up with the technology of the children enjoying themselves. We want them to enjoy themselves, but in a safe manner. We want them to return home to their families, to their ohanas, have a nice meal at the end of the day, and not have HPD have to knock on somebody's door saying, "I'm so sorry, your child passed away." For the nurses, for this, to bring this also back to home, to reality, I've spoken to an emergency room nurse that specializes at Kapolani Medical Center, and she's an ER nurse, and they're also traumatized to have to deal with children and the aftermath, and any adult that's also on an e-scooter. The tragedy of it when your head hits the pavement at a certain speed. It is hard to walk away from that. And the emergency responders, the firefighters, the EMS, the ambulance, the nurses, the doctors in the emergency room, all do their best to put you back together again. And sometimes they cannot. Most times they can't. So let's look for a way for us to make it home safe every day after playing outside. And thank you so much, Larry, for taking this up.
Thank you.
I know another thing that you wanted to bring up today was emergency preparedness for the state of Hawaii. Is there anything that you can share with us about the importance of that?
Absolutely. I have taken this from the Pearl City Neighborhood Board. we've really taken this issue up strongly. We tried to get some momentum going this last October, November timeframe, and we lost a little bit of that momentum. I was supposed to hold a town hall meeting. Regretfully, I had to cancel it. But we are planning another town hall meeting. I'm working with our legislators to have them actually host it. But most importantly is we're in a null period right now. We got the wet period. But before you know it again, June shows up and we got hurricane season again. Mm-hmm. We all need to be prepared. We can't depend on our government to be there for us. We got to work as a team, our communities. One of the things that I've established, I'm also president of my homeowners association in Waiau. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I established is emergency disaster action plan for our board of directors to follow. And that incorporates having a registry of all 114 families on our property, and to know where the elderly are, and also offer to them, do they need help to evacuate if they need to evacuate. But one of the things that we've taken seriously is thinking about do we have to evacuate? And one of the things is, if you can fortify your home, in other words, get the hurricane clips on the roofs. You all saw the video that went around on Kauai when they had Hurricane Iniki hit. You saw those roofs take off, mm-hmm. carports. You got to have those tied down. You got to have also tie straps on your foundation. Mm-hmm. If you do that, then you're starting to fortify. The next thing is to fortify your windows. Your windows can either have roll-down shutters like they do in Florida, or you can have a composite material that you could see through. It's like a plexiglass that's rolled. It's actually cheaper. And you can have it cut to the size of your window. 4 screws, screw right into your frame of your window. You can put this plastic right on board. You can put the wing nuts. You're good. Okay? Mm-hmm. The other thing is you need to reinforce your home to make sure that you've got a safe area you can go to if windows do go in. But I'm telling you, to fortify your home, your chances of survival are greater. One of the things that I have planned for the homeowner association, again, what if worst case scenario mm-hmm. that we have to evacuate the house because we did lose the roof? And the other thing I think of, there's going to be a lot of people going to where the shelters are set at, and all the things that you're supposed to bring with you, it's very tough. Mm-hmm. There's no parking. So we are going to stand our ground at our homeowners association. I'm setting up our pool area, which is our cabana area. That's going to be like our headquarters. We're going to have K rations. I'm going out. I'm proposing to buy 114 Coleman tents, size 12 by 16. Every family member gets one, and that way that's the backup, because we are a low density area. We just set the tent up in the backyard and they can still live out of their house in the meantime while we try to recover. Recovery is going to be the big thing, and having enough water, we're trying to address that. So what keeps me up at night, and I've already worked this out, I've already talked to Hawaiian Electric, and they're trying to do their best to try to work it. But everywhere you live, especially Kalihi, Aiea, Pearl City, you'll see those low-hanging wires, the telephone poles, they're all coming down. Over 80,000 wood frame homes right now are not adequate for a Cat 3 to Cat 5 hurricane. But we can minimize that. Right now, if we're proactive, help our elderly out. I wanted to try to put a program together, maybe working with the military, to try to help our elderly with single-family homes, to install hurricane clips for them, the straps, and then figure out how we can take care of their windows.
So here I wanted to interject, because you raised a couple of crucial, important parts, and I want to make sure that those that are watching at home really understand that the Hawaiian Islands, we're all surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. If something were to happen, let's see, a ballistic missile crisis, which we have lived through, COVID, a crisis of pandemic of world, it touched the entire world, including the islands here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. When we have any tsunami, hurricane, any kind of natural disaster, flooding, lava flow, we are in it by ourselves. On Oahu, we're looking at a population of 1.4 million people on this island alone of Oahu. 1.4 million people. If there was any real disaster that had occurred on a massive scale, there's only 22 ambulances for this entire island. I want those numbers to sink in. 1.4 million people, 22 ambulances. If there was something that were to happen on a huge scale, like what Larry had shared, a hurricane of a category 4, a category 3, climate change is real, people. Our shorelines are eroding as we speak because of this. So we already know by all the different disasters that we have experienced, preparedness is important. Ongoing education and outreach for each other and helping each other out and understanding what we need in order to survive when it does strike, because it's not if, it is when. So thank you so much, Larry. Those are important points. Another point I wanted to also highlight, because we have 3 minutes left, is CERT, C-E-R-T. That is a Certified Emergency Response Training that Larry and I had been to, and we were trained by the Department of Emergency Management, DEM, and HIEMA, which is Hawaii Emergency Agency. And these two groups, along with Kapilani Community College SREEN program by Dr. Miku, has ongoing education and outreach to our community to make sure that these kind of conversations that we have right here is ongoing and people have abilities to outreach to resources and create hubs and community events so that nobody is left in the cold by themselves, not knowing what to do with no resources. Let's highlight something of that example. Lahaina fires. When the Lahaina fires occurred, there was no help. People didn't know what to do. And that was a devastation. An entire city of which I know, and I lost family and friends there. No homes are no longer there. And I was able to have my sister survive because she called me for help. So it really touches home. Nobody wants to experience that. And it was a travesty. We want to avoid that, people of Hawaii. So let's get involved with different programs that, again, DEM, Department of Emergency Management, HIEMA, CERT teams that are being created, and Dr. Miku from Kapilani Community College have several programs. We have been involved. Are there any other closing remarks about such an important issue?
No, I totally agree with you. The CERT, we really need to get more of the neighborhood boards to push and recruit people to go through the training, because the vital period is going to be, as soon as we have a disaster, we're not going to have enough emergency responders to hit everywhere. So I look at it, my homeowners association, we will be the ones to go door to door, and we're going to be looking for those seniors and people in need. That and also we probably might have some, some people that didn't make it through it. But we got to learn how to record all that, and that way when the officials do arrive up on site, we got numbers for them, and we also have the people that need emergency assistance.
Lei, any closing remarks about such important issues that we have brought up today?
Well, my closing remark really is I'm grateful for both of you for, of course, passing first the e-bike, helping contribute really to the ordinance that we now have, which is 25-6. And then, of course, now you guys are certified through CERT. So we, like what Larry Veray says, we need to get everyone, or at least advertise not just our neighborhood board members, but even the public, right? The more the merrier.
Yes.
The more of us are more certified, the more we can help each other.
Yes. So closing remarks with that as well is Dr. Miku from Kapilani Community College at Diamond Head campus is ongoing and recruiting anyone. We would love to have neighborhood boards, and there is a special group that is outreaching to them, but it's anyone and everyone, from children to kapuna to everyone in our community, because when disaster strikes, we are all affected. Thank you so much. And we'll be continuing more vital conversations about how this affects our community and other concerns that we have and we're advocating for the people of Hawaii. Thank you so much.
Thank you.